Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you here today um, to this training class called Business Setup. And what we want to do essentially with this is to ensure that to a good extent all of us have sufficient basic and fundamental information about the things you need to put in place if you want to set up your business. Um, I'm going to be recording this. My name is Adeolu Akiemi. My Twitter handle is Deolu Akiemi. On WhatsApp, that's my number, and on Facebook, that's where you can reach me. I'm making all of this available so that in case you need to reach me, in case you need to connect with me, you have access to connecting with me. I don't want to only do this training. I want to be able to offer support and some level of help ongoing for this. Now, I'm going to try and disable video a bit so that basically so that we don't we're all able to we don't overload it essentially. I want us to be able to ensure that we can do this training without overloading the link. The idea is I want everybody to be able to one way or the other be able to download the recording. So I want to avoid putting video on it so that as much as possible you can easily download. So we have 5 people here already today. I think everybody is plugged into here now. Very good. So I'll just kick off for the class and take it off from here. So in case you want to reach me, these are the places you can reach me. Very quickly today, I'll be talking about how to set up your business, the key things you need to consider, and I'll ensure they can access the recording after. Yes, I'll make sure that everybody can have access to it. If it's very light, I'll send it to you on WhatsApp. If it's not that light, I'll upload it to YouTube and I'll share it with you as well. Okay, so the first thing is, what exactly is business? And tonight, by God's grace, I'm going to be telling you stories because I believe that stories are memorable. We can draw our lessons from stories. Stories are so powerful that the stories stay with you long after the class. So if you're here today, you're going to remember these stories for long after I've shared them. And because they are stories, they're going to cement those topics into your minds so that you never forget them. And eventually, when you're doing business in the future, some of these things will guide you and make you an amazing business person. So the first thing you want to ask before you start setting up a business is, what exactly is business? There's a story I like to tell. It's a marriage story. Actually, I like to tell the story this way and say that there was a boy who was really quite broke and poor. He realized that poverty was like a generational thing in his family. He was poor. He was getting poor. His father was poor. His grandfather was poor. And he realized that the son that he had given birth to was going to end up poor as well, except he did something about it. So this young man, who was in his 50s, who had a son who was about 20, in his early 20s, called the son and said, my son, I can see that I'm growing old and I'm going the way of my fathers. And I want our legacy as a family to change. I don't want to hand over poverty to you like it was handed over to me. I want something different done for your generation. And I feel the burden to say, I need to do something about this so that this doesn't become a family challenge. I want to solve this problem once and for all. I do not want a scenario where you also end up poor. And someone said, so Daddy, what are you going to do? And I said, it's very simple what I'm going to do. I'm going to call my friend. I have a classmate who was classmates with me when I was in secondary school. We used to call, my nickname was Tiny, but this my classmate is someone I can reach out to. And what I'm thinking that you'll do to change your fortune and to change your family fortune is, first of all, be willing to accept to get married. And the son was like, look, Daddy, I've not even done my NYSC. How come you want me to get married? So my son, if you don't want to continue the same poverty that I've continued in, you need to change things. To do the same things over and over again and expect different results is another definition of insanity. I would not want you to be insane. I would like you to consider what I am saying as your father, and let's do this together. I like you to get married. And the son said, who am I going to get married to? He said, I'm going to get married to the son of this my former classmate. My former classmate is Aliko Dangote, and his daughter is the one I want to get married to. And you know what? Aliko Dangote is the richest man in Africa, in Nigeria. And the guy is like, wow, his eyes lit up. I said, Daddy, how on earth are you going to make that happen? And I said, just watch me. So he calls Aliko Dangote and says, Aliko, my friend, can you remember me? I was tiny, we were in the same class. Say, how are you? He said, yes, I'm calling to say hello. It's been a long time. And, I've been studying your family. I've been studying how you're making progress. I'm very happy for you, Alaji. Well done. Please, I have a son. My son is doing well. He's a successful young man. I am considering that he can marry your daughter. I want him to marry your daughter as his first wife. Alaji, if you can do this for me, my son is very responsible. He's doing well. He's making good progress, and I think this can work. Well, Alaji said, okay, we're very good friends in school, but this thing you're asking me is a lot. What does your son do? I said, Alaji, my son is a director in one of the banks. He's a director of one of the banks, GT Bank. He's an executive director there. And that was it. Really? Your boy must be doing well. Okay. I can't give you too much, whatever, but this sounds like a good thing. If you can work it out, why not? Your son is doing well. My daughter is young and getting ready to get married. This can work. Now, of course, you and I know that this young man is just about doing his NYSC. He's not a director in GT Bank. But the man decides to call, find a link to somebody in GT Bank, the MD, and says, MD, please, I think I want us to have a win-win proposition. I have an idea for you. And the bank MD says, okay, so how can I help you? He said, well, I'd like my son to be a director in your bank, not an executive director, like a non-executive director. He won't be doing anything. He just wants the title so that he can get you access to finance for your bank. And the bank manager is like, who is your son? The bank director says, who is your son? He said, well, my son is, very soon is going to be the son-in-law to Dangote. That's the richest man in Africa. And he can influence some things more in your direction. He just like you to give him some profile that helps him to be able to do the same. He said, wow, that's not a bad idea. We can make him non-executive. He'll just be there hanging in the paper somewhere just for title. And he's going to bring in a cabal. Why not? So the guy agrees to make him a non-executive director. Dangote has said, okay, yeah, because he's a director in bank, he can marry my daughter. And then so he basically manages the entire process, manages Dangote, manages the bank director, manages his children, and on the day the marriage happens, the bank says their staff, Dangote came with his entourage, everybody is proven to be true, and the marriage is done, and they live happily ever after. And I say to people, this sounds like a very fraudulent story, if you ask me, but if you look at it and dissect it very well, you ask yourself what exactly transpired here. What transpired here is that the man had an idea, and in order to execute his idea, he decided to pull the resources together in the face of risk. At any point in this story, things could have gone wrong. Dangote could have called his bluff. The MD could have said, what exactly is that about? If one person drops off the line in this equation, then everything flops and the man becomes a fraudulent man. Business. Okay, what exactly is business? And I don't want to totally exhaust the lessons you can pick from this and the connections you can see. But for me, this is where I find my very exciting definition of business. Business is, or an entrepreneur, and the business starts really with an idea. Somebody who has an idea, who has a picture of a desired future, who has a vision of what he wants to achieve or accomplish, and in the face of risks, imminent risks, is able to assemble resources together to achieve that objective. So a business is a system of small operations that has a very clear goal and an end that it wants to achieve, and is able to assemble resources together, both human and financial, to achieve the objectives. So what exactly do you want to do? What are you working on that you think is a business? What exactly are you working on? One of the very fundamental and essential things about your business is many people go into business thinking, I need to go into business in an area of specialization. I need to go into business in something I know how to do. I need to go into business in something that is easy for me. I'm a doctor, I want to start a hospital. I'm a tailor, I want to start a fashion designing company. People tend to play towards what they have the capacity for, thinking that the business person is somebody who is skilled in what is required to run the business. No. A business person doesn't need to have the skills. A business person needs to have the vision and needs to be able to assemble the resources together to make it happen. So the key things you need to run a business is a vision, a very clear picture of what's the problem I want to solve, what's the end I want to achieve, what's my goal, and you're able to identify the things you cannot do to save your life, and you're able to recruit to join you people who can do the things you can't do so that you can achieve the objective that you want to achieve. I hope this is clear. Okay, so our first point today is about this, and I'd like to get confirmation from you that you can hear me and that it is clear to you. Okay, so if it's clear to you, just tell me it's clear. I get this. So in setting up a business, what you're asking yourself is, what's the risk? So a few key elements you can find there. You can find the elements of risk. Business is done in the presence of risk. You can find a vision or a clear objective. That's very important in business as well. If there's no vision and there's no clear objective, then I can't achieve my desired aim. And then there's the bringing together of resources. And I'd like to confirm in this class that you're here. So just drop a chat or a comment in that box at your Zoom so that I know that you're here and you're listening. Okay, good. So very good. So I can hear from a few people that they're here. Okay, good. So we can see risks, you can see vision, you can see putting resources together to make it happen. So this man, what did he do? He had an idea that he wanted to end poverty in his family. He had a son who he wanted to get married to change his family tradition of poverty, and was able to leverage on the relationship he had in the past, connect them with new ones he's making in the future, leveraging off one relationship with the other, and connecting it all together in such a way that which he wanted to achieve can be achieved. Okay, that's business. Risk, vision, resources, leverage. Okay, you put all of these things together, you have a business. So I think it's important to know that. Okay, so it starts with an idea. Okay, so I don't know about you. What is it you want to achieve? What resources do you need? What do you need to learn? Who has access to what you need? So it's not about you having everything you need. Sometimes you're able to identify this is somebody who has access to what I need. If I want to sell a drug in a pharmaceutical company, instead of going across and knocking on the door of 2,000 pharmacies around town, why don't I find somebody who is already supplying a non-competing product to the same space, and then he can supply on my behalf? So who has access to what I need? What do they need? What do I have? What can I exchange? What can go wrong? Which is what are the risks? And how can I mitigate against these risks? Okay, so these are the things you want to ask yourself about whatever business you want to be involved in. Ask yourself, this idea that I have, do I have the resources? Is there risk? Am I clear about what I want to achieve? Who do I need to leverage on? Who do I need to have access to? How can I make this work? Okay, so for me, this is the fundamentals of business 101. Anybody who wants to start a business needs to be clear. I've seen many things that people do in the name of business that is in business because they're just basically self-employed and not running businesses. The business requires them, it requires no other resource, they pour themselves into it. If they don't show up, nothing happens. They don't really have a business yet. So essentially, it starts with an idea, okay, and it builds from there. You have clarity about what you want to achieve, resources you need, you know the resources you need, you're able to assemble and assess the people who have access to them, what those people need, what do I have, how can I exchange, how do I make this happen? Okay, so that's how businesses are run. I don't know if there's any question tonight as I make progress into the next topic. Okay, the next topic is what I call the obstacle story. Like I said, I'm going to be sharing stories today. Stories are memorable, and this time around, I'll tell you to share your lessons with me from this story. So I'm not going to share the lessons of this story. I will expect you to, teach the class and give us enlightenment with your thoughts, and I will echo those thoughts. I help you polish those thoughts so that everybody can learn as well. So once upon a time, there was a king who put a very big boulder on the road and stood at a distance somewhere in the forest, watching different people pass across where the stone was, trying to see what their reactions would be. And then he saw the high-profile, middle-class, upper-class people in society who just basically saw the bricks on the road, and as they were walking past the rock on the road, and as they were walking past the rock on the road, they were complaining. They were saying this government is bad, this king is not paying attention. How can this kind of thing be on the road? And nobody amongst the king's officials can go and remove this. And they basically lamented about the king and spoke evil of him, not knowing that he was somewhere around the corner listening to them. And they walked past and left. There were a few poor people as well who also walked past and felt, this town self, this big stone boulder is on the road, and nobody is taking care of it. Nobody is paying attention to it. Is this thing going to cause accident at night? And all they did was lament and walked away. And then there was this peasant farmer who saw this big boulder on the road and felt, wow, this thing is going to destroy somebody's life. Someone's going to drive their car, drive something into this at night. They won't even know it's there, and that will be the end of them. And who knows, that person that becomes to the end, maybe somebody who has something valuable to offer the world in the future. I can't wait for this kind of evil to be happening in our society. Somebody has to take responsibility. And this person dropped all his farm wares and began to use different kinds of methods, sticks, stones, and try to work out a few things to push this boulder off the road. As soon as he was able to successfully push the boulder off the road, he found a small sack underneath where the boulder was lying. And under the sack, inside the sack, he looked inside and he saw gold coins, gold bars, a heavy bag of amazing precious stones. And then he looked at it and said, wow, what's this? And then he saw a letter in it, and he opened the letter. And the letter said, this gold belongs to the person who took responsibility for removing this boulder from the road. I tell people, where is the money? And what lessons can you pick from this one? So I'd like you to share your lessons. What exactly can you see before I summarize for you and tell you what I see, okay, about this obstacle story? What can you see? What lessons are inherent in that story of the king who kept the boulder on the road and the people who passed by it and the person who finally took responsibility? Is there anything? Is there any conjecture you can make? Is there anything that is showing you about where the gold coins are or where the money is in business? I like a few thoughts. Just type it in the window or type it on WhatsApp pages, whatever one is easiest for you. Just type it out there and say to me, this is what I can see from here. This is what is clear to me from here. Anybody? Any takers? Any takers? I'd like to give a few seconds for anybody who wants to take a stab at that and say, for this lesson, for this story, this is what is obvious to me. Anybody? So just take a bold swing at it. Take a bold swing at it, and let's see. Okay, it seems we are thinking about it or ruminating about it. Let me share quick thoughts with you. I hope we're all here tonight. So, where is the money? The money is always available as a reward. Money is a reward. Money is a reward for work done. Okay, good. I like how Yemi puts it. Solve problems to find money. Okay, the money belongs to the problem solver. The money belongs to the person who decides to take responsibility for what everybody should have taken responsibility for. I like the way somebody puts it. It says when nobody decides to do the work that everybody should have done, then somebody is going to one day suffer for what everybody should have done that nobody did. So reality is this big boulder on the road is a problem. The person who solved it is the person that made money. Okay, I'd like you to be very clear about this. Money is hidden behind problems. Money is hidden behind challenges. Money is hidden behind, things that, that stand in the face of everybody else and nobody challenges. And if you're able to find the problem, if you're able to find the thing that everybody's complaining about, their pain point, you're on your way to creating wealth. Okay, someone says nothing of value is free. There must be a deliberate effort to get value and wealth. Thank you very much, Sam. Thank you, Yemi, as well. But I'd like to make this abundantly clear to you. And this is not just cliche. Okay, reality is money follows problems. If you want to make money, you need to look for the problems. You need to look for what to solve. What is a big need? What do people need that they don't even know that they need? And how can I be the one that supplies that? Okay. So this boulder removed from the road had the king's coins under it. And in life, every big problem has loads of treasures underneath them. Somebody asked you 20 years ago what problem Facebook was trying to solve. There were many people who attempted to solve the problem of creating connections with people, networking them, and ensuring that people can have, all those kind of things that Facebook stands for. But guess what? They were able to identify a problem. People wanted to socialize. People wanted to stay in connection with each other, even though work would not allow them. People wanted to be in touch. And Facebook began to create itself as somebody who is offering the solution to that problem. Okay? So the money is always behind the problem. So what problem do you want to solve? It's not about buying and selling. It's not about something that you're obsessed with. It's not about saying I'm an engineer, so I'm looking for an engineering solution. No. It's about asking yourself, what is the problem that's available in society that I can provide solutions to? Because the money follows the problems. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to me tonight, whatever business it is you're doing, you want to ensure you ask yourself, what's the size of the problem I'm solving? How many people need this problem solved? How many people are depending on the solution to this problem? And how can I add value that way? Money follows value. Okay, that's very important. Money follows value. Money comes after problems. Those who solve problems, who clear issues, who clear challenges, get access to the pot of gold. So if you're there today, whatever it is you're doing, ask yourself very serious questions. Am I solving a problem that is big enough? If I want to be mediocre with my dreams, I can be mediocre with my dreams. If my dreams are big and the process of achieving them looks small, then there'll be a dissonance. So in order to ensure that there's no dissonance, okay, you need to understand that whenever there is a challenge, there's money to be made somewhere. Solve problems, get the money. Solve a challenge, get the money. So whatever business you're doing, and I don't know what business are there tonight. If you're doing manufacturing, if you're doing agriculture, if you're doing trading, if you're doing marketing, whatever business venture you're doing today, okay, be very clear. It's when you solve a problem that you get value. Solve a problem, and value will come. So where is the money? Just think it through. Ask yourself, what do I want to supply? What do I want to, what do I want to mitigate against? What problem am I solving? Okay. And of course, if I'm going to put that down, I'm going to ask myself, so, what's the solution? What's the problem I see? And you can go through these things. What problem do I see? How big is the problem? How easy is the solution? So the size of the problem determines how much value you can get from this. How easy the solution requires the barrier to entry. Is it easy for somebody else to solve this problem? How many people need it? So versus the universe of Nigerians, for example, who are 180 million. What population of Nigeria is going to need this? Okay. How many people need the solution? What do I have? And what do I have? So I can do my basic SWOT, my strengths, my weaknesses, my opportunities, and my threats. What don't I have? What do I have? Old and new. So I can do a SWOT. What is wealth? And the value equation. So of course, there's an equation that says wealth is a function of value times time. Okay, the more the value I add the more the value I add, the more the wealth I can have. So the V is equals to VN, actually, value times number of people. So if I multiply my number of people, I can add, and I add value to a wider range of people, I can create more wealth. So who else has tried to solve this problem? Are there other people who have tried to solve this problem that I can learn from, that I can leverage on, that I can find out what they did wrong and I can do it right? Or why did they give up? Should I give up as well? Why did they succeed? Where did they fail? Where did they succeed? Am I selling, connecting, consulting, processing, or supplying? What exactly am I going to be responsible for once I get clarity about exactly how to solve those problems? Okay, so it's about problems. And this is how you can break it down. This is how you can sort it out. I'm very clear that, okay, how big is this problem? Is it worth my while? Is it worth my energy? Can I become a millionaire in dollars solving this problem for a wide variety of people? Can I lower my cost, be more user-friendly, and go viral? So these are kind of thoughts you want to begin to think about problems you want to solve. So when people are solving problems in different ways, the more I engage in Nigerian space, I realize that people are doing loads of things. And many of these are responses to problems that existed that they're trying to solve. So congratulations if there's something that you consistently nag about that you think is problematic. If you've shared it with friends and your friends have similar problems, you may be onto something. Okay, it may be really up to something. Okay, so I don't know if there's any questions so far. These are very essential things. I'm telling them in stories because stories are easy to memorize, stories are easy to retain for the days to come. And if you know this, you know it. You can always relate with them, realize business is not what people say business is. Business requires these things because of the story. And then you can say, you know what, money is about solving problems. The more problems you solve, the more money you make. Okay, so that's important. So are there any questions? Is it clear? If it's clear, tell me it's clear so that I can move to structuring your business. We have a 1 hour class today, so I'll take as much as I can. so far I can be guaranteed of your participation and cooperation. Okay, let me see if it's clear. Anybody else here tonight? I want to talk about structuring your business. Okay, let me see if it's clear. Beautiful. Is there anybody else in class tonight, or are we just putting it on so that it can look like you're in class while you're not in class? You understand? You're not the one that knows the trick of putting the meat in your mouth and not swallowing it. Okay, good. I have 3 people who are confirmed that it's clear to them. So we've talked about business, our business, what exactly business is. We've talked about money, making sure that you plug in behind a challenge, a problem, something that you can solve. It doesn't need to change it to any other form, essentially. Okay, so solve a problem, make money, what business is all about. And now I want to talk about structuring your business. And structuring your business is very, very fundamental. This is somewhere I can help as well to probably help you develop your business, distill it, to understand what exactly is your profit center, what exactly are you making profit from, how is your business structured, how do you engage your customers, how do they engage you, what are your brand channels, what exactly is your philosophy about branding. All of these key elements of structuring a business are things that you need to be very clear about. And it's not complicated. So I'll give you an example. Story, again, of a man, a young Nigerian man who was seen at the customs exit out of Nigeria into Cotonou. And as he was going, they stopped him. They found a bag on his bicycle. This bag seemed full, and they said, "Look, what are you carrying across the border?" And the guy said, "Well, there's not much I'm carrying across the border. I have a bag of sand." And the guy was like, "Are you sure it's sand?" Said, "Yeah, it's sand." And then they took out the bag and poured it down, emptied the bag, and checked it forensically, checked it gradually, checked it manually, and could find nothing else but sand in the bicycle. And they were like, "Wow." So this guy was truthful. So they went back to him, apologized to him, and said, "God, guy, we're very sorry for not believing in you. Thank you very much for all the assistance you've tried to do, or cooperation you have done with us. Please, you can carry your bag of sand across the border. That's fine." And the man carries across, and then the next day carries the bag of sand again. And they check him again, they find the sand, they let him go. And he keeps on doing this for about 15 days. Another 15 days, the police officers had enough of him. And they called him to a corner and said, "Young man, you've been carrying the bags of sand across the border. You ride your bicycle with glee. We don't know exactly what you're doing, but whatever you're doing is working because you've managed to consistently outsmart us. Please, we beg of you, tell us exactly what you're doing, and I promise you we will not disturb you again. But for our own sanity, we will not be suspecting all kinds of things. We'll be very clear about what is going on, and we can move on." So they tried to negotiate with him. I said, "Please tell us what exactly are you doing. We'll never disturb you." And the guy says, "Look, sign for me that you'll never disturb me. I want that, like those plea bargains they do with that police do with criminals. And say, look, if you volunteer the other person, we're going to give you a life sentence." So like this as well, they called the guy, and the guy says, "Well, if you are willing to sign the document saying you will not disturb me again, I will reveal to you what I've been doing." And they said, "Yes, we'll sign, not a problem." And sign. As soon as they signed, he burst into laughter and excitement and said, "Yes, I have been indeed carrying bags of sand across the border, but what I'm really smuggling is not bags of sand. That's just a decoy. What I'm really moving across the border is my bicycles. So every time I go, I sell off my bicycles, I come back, I pick another bicycle, and I go back." So the real structure is, in the eye of the public, is carrying a bag of sand across the border regularly. For somebody who looks deeper and understands the workings of exactly what he's doing, you realize that what he's doing is not sand. Sand is a decoy. What he's really doing is smuggling bicycles. And I tell people, it sounds funny and hilarious, but that's how business is. Sometimes what people think is real profit center is not the profit center. What people think is the main business is not the main business. What many people think should be the next step is not the next step. Many times we look at our eyes are zeroed on the sand, we miss the bicycles. We miss the opportunity that exists untapped on the bicycles. So the same way, this man had been carrying sand, knowing that the customer officers will never really pay attention to what he's carrying with. And whereas the sand was putting them to test every day for them to check, he was getting a new bicycle every week. And I think that was just amazing. So the same way you want to structure business, and ask yourself, am I using a freemium model? Am I using a premium model? Am I creating value out of something or nothing? What exactly is going to be my profit center, what's going to be my engagement strategy, what exactly is going to be what I'm offering to the public. So all of this needs to be clear. I need to structure my business in such a way that I'm very clear. These are the SKUs that bring this value, this one brings that value. I structure out properly. So I'm going to encourage you tonight. You want to structure your business. You want to ask yourself, what will people look at? What exactly do I want to create value from? And if you think about it, if you think about something like the McDonald's franchise, the Ray Kroc guy almost ran out of business, and somebody came with a new structure idea. And he called Ray Kroc and said to him, Ray Kroc, I don't know why somebody as big as you, we're having financial challenges like this. What you need to do is restructure your business. And they gave him an idea and said, stop getting franchisees who own the building, who rent the building, who are in touch with the building and not loyal to you. Redraft your structure to ensure that you own the building and that what you're renting out already belongs to the company. Ensure that ownership. And then, once I beg your pardon, once you know that, so we are like Ray Kroc. So own the building, rent out to franchisees. That idea radically changing from a burger seller into a real estate company. You change the structure, and because he was owning the buildings, he could use the buildings to get leverage with the banks. Because he was doing all those things, the business dynamics changed completely. It wasn't worrying about 1.5 cents on every donut anymore. It was now worrying about playing the bigger game, having the agents and the franchisees operate upon his platform, and that radically changed the business. So business, one of the vital things that can really, really, really turn your business right side up is structure. Okay, structure makes all the difference in the world. You need to determine what exactly am I making profit from, what am I selling for free, what am I giving, what am I giving out to get something else sold. Am I selling immediately from the beginning? Are there things I do to have concessions to form the force of habits of securing a particular customer? These are all structural elements. I need to look at how do I engage customers, how do I engage suppliers, how do I engage key partners, what is my finance model, what's my capital raising model. All of those things form your structure. And many times it's not just talk like that. So we may need to have one-on-one discussions. You may need to meet somebody who has an understanding of how business are done to help you structure. The end result of your structured business is a business plan or a commander's intent that makes very clear exactly what you're in business for and what you're not for. So the world may celebrate the sand, but the guy knows that what he's doing is with bicycles. So the same way, the world may be keeping their eyes and saying, what kind of companies is this? What exactly are they doing? It all boils down to the structure. Structure your business. Is this clear? Okay. If it's clear, just say to me it's clear. Let me know that we're on the same page. And I ask people, structure is what determines whether you are a hot or a skyscraper. Hots don't need plans. Hots don't require any architectural designs, any architectural plans. You just slam it together and off you go. But if you're going to build something tall, you need to have a plan. And the same thing, if you want your business to grow tall, grow gigantic, have a plan. If you want your business to be small, just slam it together and you have a hot. Okay? It's also about this, scenario of a farmer or a hunter. It all has to do with structure. So, structure. The hunter just points the gun, kills and cooks. The hunter builds and builds and builds and builds and builds within a structure. So what exactly do you need to do here? You need to register your business. If you have a business name or a limited liability company, that can range from 5,000 to 65 to 500,000 naira. So depending on what you want, if it's a business name or if it's a big firm, how many people. So you want to have a structure and say, how many people am I going to have in the business? Is it a limited liability company? Is it a business name? What's my vision? What's my mission? Declare. What will it be? Depending on the level of clarity and commitment that we start with. So get a consultant, pay a little extra to learn on the lessons and progress intelligently. Money is always the biggest need. Know what you're selling. Okay, so structure is very, very crucial. It determines whether you become a hot or a skyscraper, whether you become a hunter or a farmer. So what you want to do is ensure that you begin to process how you can structure and how you can ensure that you're not dropping the balls in any area. And you can build a skyscraper. I'm really hoping that you'll build a skyscraper. The only difference is not your intelligence, not your skill level. It's just structure. And if you get this correctly, it's going to be a blast. Okay, so usually Money is usually the biggest need. If you look at that story I shared with you, he was able to get access to resources, people, old relationships that he was able to leverage on to get what he wanted to get for his son. Okay, so structure is crucial, very important. Okay, any questions? Any questions? Okay, good. In the absence of other questions, I'll just press on. I think we're nearing the end of the class, so not a bad place. Basically, I'm just sharing with you the basic structures of setting up a business, the thinking, the clear thinking behind I want to set up a business. What are the things I need to pay attention to? So let me tell you what I told you. I've said to you that one, what is business? Business is not what people think business is. It's not I know how to do this, so I've started business doing it. Business is I have a vision, I have a goal, I have a dream to achieve something. And I ask myself, what do I need to know? Knowledge that I can go for. Who do I need to know? Relationships that I can leverage on. What exactly do I need to pay attention to ensure that I can do business? Risk, leverage, relationships, etc. are things that popped up. Number two, we talked about money. We said money is a reward for solving problems. Okay, money is a reward for solving problems. And then we talked about structure. I said somebody can be smuggling bicycles and everybody is looking at sand. And there are many businesses like that. So if I get, for example, again, if I talk about Google, for Google, most people use Gmail for free. But guess what? There's premium service where once you cross some particular number of gig in storage, you need to pay for. That's the one I pay for. But guess what? They attracted the world on free, like sand, and then they're making their money from the bicycle. Same concept. So we shared about that. And then now we're saying becoming good at it. And one of the biggest things that can happen to you in business is that you try to make progress by shortcuts. And this is something that happens a lot, even for me as well. I tell people, if you care to listen, the elevator to success is bad. The elevator to success is bad. You may need to take the stairs. Okay, so the way to ensure that you are taking the stairs and becoming good at it is by ensuring that you get your hands dirtied. Don't wait for it to be cooked and buttered before you do it. Get your hands dirty. The example I gave here is the example of a butterfly who was trying to free itself from its cocoon. It had become was a caterpillar, it had become pupa, and it was trying to break out into becoming a butterfly. But the person who saw it felt, this is too much work for the butterfly, and decided to help it out. It broke the cocoon and allowed the butterfly to come out. But guess what? The butterfly couldn't fly. And why couldn't the butterfly fly? The butterfly couldn't fly because the strength required to push the wings to fly is the same one required to break the cocoon. Now, what exactly was happening in the cocoon is that the butterfly was being trained on how to stretch his wings against adversity, how to fly irrespective of what is happening around them. That quality was lost because the caterpillar, the butterfly, did not have the opportunity to push through. Okay, and I want to say to you as well today, there's help we can get from coaches, the help we can get from people who can, show us the ropes, but don't go for shortcuts. Shortcuts are wrong cuts. The elevator to success is bad. Take the stairs. Okay, so in business, you want to take the stairs. Yes, leverage on people, use their information, use their leverage, use their possibilities, but know when what you're doing is a bad decision because you're going for a quick fix. Quick money doesn't last. Quick fix doesn't get us anywhere. You want to go far, you want to go long, you want to be consistent in time, and not allow the butterfly to come out prematurely. So for the butterfly, there's yet hope. And the hope is that he will be constrained in the space and have his own troubles that will help it to exercise his wings and ultimately be able to fly. Everyone who offers you a shortcut in business is robbing you of the wings with which to fly. Okay? So that is very important. And today, yes, somebody's asking a question and saying, will I be able to get the video? Yes, the video will be available. That's why I'm trying to keep it short as possible so that it is not too heavy and it can be shared with everyone on the WhatsApp page. Okay. The next thing I want to say is become a master over a series of circumstances. And what this means essentially is don't give up, keep going at it, keep refining, fail forward. Don't allow the last failure to win on you. Don't let what happened in the past because it wasn't successful Don't let it be your end. Keep trying until you get the perfect mix. And that reminds me of the story of a Japanese fish story of a man, of a king who sends his warlords into the sea to fetch him some fish. He just suddenly felt like eating fresh fish and he told his warriors, please go to the sea, go and catch me some fish I want to eat. When they got back, he tasted the fish and said, this is not fresh fish. This fish died long ago on the waters. This is not the kind of fish that I want. And they went back to the seas to search for fish. And then they caught some fish, and this time around they decided to kill the fish and freeze the fish so it can retain its freshness. Of course, the king spotted the difference. And one by one, they kept on bringing us stuff in. Sometimes they brought the fish in an aquarium. Sometimes, they try to do different things to keep the fish alive so that the king can have a beautiful time. But ultimately, they couldn't. They kept on, trying out the fish out, kept on trying out stuff in. So they came up with an idea. And they felt, look, the reason why this fish gets to the king and doesn't taste fresh, even when it's alive in the aquarium, is because it's sitting there and still. Nothing is chasing it. Nothing is at its heels. So this time around, he went to the sea, caught some fish, and then also caught some shark, released the shark against the fish, and the fish ran. The shark ate a few, but there was this particular one who kept running and dodging and running and dodging, and eventually was able to make it. Okay, because he was able to make it by, getting to town, the fish had run all the while, was still fresh. It served to the king, and the king tasted the fish and said, now this is fresh fish. Okay, fresh fish is a fish that has passed through all sorts, suffered in the sea and suffered at the hands of trained sharks, but still was able to get to the king. And I tell people, listen, in business, if you want to be fresh, it won't be the first fish. If you want to be fresh, it won't be the first of things. If you want to really be fresh, you will go through every hurdle. You will keep on running. You will keep your senses active. That's how you become the best that is possible. So I want to say this to you. Don't settle for less in your business. Don't say this is how we've always done it. Don't say this we're stuck this way. You're not stuck in any way. We can always think outside the box. We can also always find, an opportunity somewhere for doing it better. And how you do that is just ensure that not only are you, calm there, and ensure there's a shark in your vessel that's putting on your toes, so that you can do your business excellently. Okay, so you can do it excellently. And how do you do that? You fail forward, startup practices. Okay, so financial structuring, spend time to develop a financial strategy document. Have a plan for reviews at each level. Don't discover too late. They need to be designed based on customer feedback. Selling, your first role is your business is financial planning. Cost in income injections, VAT, WHT, profit projections, expenses, cash injection, requirements. These are things you become familiar with and knowledgeable about if you want to fail forward and you want to ensure that book can start well. So you can edit your business plan as you progress, but essentially you want to ensure that you are failing. If you want to increase your success rate, you want to fail more. That's the only way you can get fresh fish. Keep trying, keep iterating, keep working out at it until you're able to come up with something. Okay, and last but not the least tonight, before I close, this is something that inspires me a lot. This story you have in front of you is called the paperclip story. And it's the story of a young man who had a red paperclip, and he decided to exchange his red paperclip as much as he can, and his goal was that one day he would get a house. He took a red paperclip in exchange for a doorknob. Somebody says, well, my doorknob is useless. Take my doorknob, give me a red paperclip. He used a doorknob to exchange for a fish pen, a pen that had a fish tail. The knob for the fish pen. For the fish pen, he used it to exchange for fishing line. Fishing line used to for a small generator. And this guy continued the exchanges. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen, in just 15 exchanges, he was able to get a house. And I'm asking you today, what do you have in your hands? And how many exchanges will it take you to get to your dreams? So there are many things you can learn from that paperclip story. My question today is, what exactly do you have in your hand? What do you have in your hand that you've been despising? What do you have in your hand that looks too small to make things happen? This man took a red paperclip and exchanged it in 15 different exchanges until he got a house. That's phenomenal. I want to say it can be you as well. Okay. So the idea is we did it with paperclip exchange for a house. The same way, whatever business you want to do, whatever service you want to sell, if you organize it properly and do it right, you will stand the chance of amazing, amazing things. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to me tonight, that's why I want to draw the curtain on it and open the floor for a few questions before it's 10 o'clock. The key element here is there's nothing you want your business to achieve that you won't achieve. You need to just be committed to that dream and it will become a reality. So our commitment to the dreams are not in doubt. We just need to put one feet in front of the other until we get there. So start with an idea and be clear about where you want it to end, and you can get there. Okay, you can get there. Identify your products, identify your segments, and let's push from wherever it is today. If your end is clear and you're willing to walk through the motions, you can get to anywhere you want to get to. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been my pleasure tonight. Are there any questions tonight? Are there things you'd like to understand? Are there things you'd like to ask? So that we can keep, we can call, we can come to the end of this class. Any questions? Any additions? Any things that became very clear to you that you just like to share and confirm if your perspective is correct? Anybody? Someone says, please, will this video be made available after? Yes, it'll be available. Okay, this is no question for me for now. Allow me, this is okay. Is there any one of us doing any business? Any business you want to take to, any business you would like by the end of this year to have a turnover of 50 million? Anybody? Okay, so I have some questions here. How do I discover that I'm cut off for business or entrepreneur? Not an 8 to 5 employee. Okay, so here's how I see it, Sam. I don't think anybody is particularly cut out for anything. I think we make our own luck. So it's about trials, it's about trying. So the best employees today are the ones they call entrepreneurs. So I can be an employee and I can be the entrepreneur in my thinking. So as an employee, I'm asking myself, my boss has given me work to do. It's not about whether I can do the work or not. It's about, can I put the resources together to get the work done? Can I put those resources together in ways that doesn't cost so much? I can get the same thing done. So that's the realm of the entrepreneurial thinking. So the way to find out is, first of all, in your career, where you're an 8 to 5 person, can you begin to ask yourself, how can I take advantage of some of these entrepreneurial thinking skills? If you begin to apply them to your workplace and it begins to show you good results, then already you know that you're getting ready for the journey of entrepreneurship. I tell people entrepreneurship is a different ball game from employee. It has its own different tracks. When you leave employee to become an entrepreneur, it's a totally different, it's a change. It's like a change in climate. So the same way, they are different, but there's an opportunity within the employee space to begin to practice to be an entrepreneur. Intrapreneur, mind you. So the way to know is by trials. The same way we learn how to work, by trying, by falling, by trying, by falling. I think everybody can stand and work in business as well if they try so much. I hope I've answered your question, Sam. Okay, let me say I understand very clearly everything I need to start is clarity. What you need to start is, have a goal, have a clear goal. This is what I want to achieve. So, for example, I'm selling a drink. What's my goal? How many cartons do I want to sell? How many bottles do I want to sell? How far do I want to go? And once I'm clear about that, that's the beginning. Beginning is half done. Once I'm very clear about what this is about, and beginning is half done. So be clear. Okay, Sam, my pleasure. Anybody else tonight wants to say something? Where's Mr. Akingbade, Colonel Akingbade, if I can use that word? Olamide, okay. Sam, I have Yemi. Any questions? None for you from now. Okay, I think that's about it. I'll try and upload this video to the page. Um, the values guiding the business must be known. Okay, very important. It's not everything I can do, so it's not every risk you can take. So we have to be very clear. What can I do? What can't I do? It's not about achieving the goals alone. It's about what what can't I do? What's off the limit for me? It's very important. Okay, thank you much for my time. I appreciate. It's been my pleasure as well. I'm happy to add a little value as much as I can to everybody else. Um, so thank you very much for coming. Thank you for listening. I hope I can get to one day celebrate the phenomenal businesses that you all are doing and making progress in. The last slide says, even if what you have today is a small paper clip, you can exchange it one day for a house. And 15 exchanges, that can happen in 6 months because every month here, we have exchanges. So, so it's my pleasure. So let me know if whatever it is they are doing, and if you need thoughts, you need creativity, we can look at a few things together. And if you want to hire my service to come and consult for you, I'm more than welcome to support in those ways as well. Okay, so Yemi, Olamide, Ngbade, Sam, it's been my pleasure tonight. Have a beautiful night rest. God bless. I'm going to be leaving in about 2 minutes, so if you want to greet anybody, you can just drop in the window, and the class will be shut down shortly. Or if there's any other class, you get to know, you'll be notified. If there's any other class, you get notified. This is the class. I might give you assignments to your business. I would like to know your businesses. So you can, on the page that we have together, share with me the things you're doing so that I can give you something very, very customized that can guide you and help you with the business that you're doing as well. There is no next class. If there's any next class, I will announce it. This is the class I wanted to get off my chest to give a foundation to how business will be run. There's something I'm planning to do on how to multiply your business by 5. But that will be strictly for people that are doing business. So if you have a business you're doing and you want to multiply by 5, you're going to be my guest soon. I'm going to pop it in the group and tell you when it's holding, so that you can participate. It's titled How to Multiply Your Business by 10. So conservatively, if you can do 5 too, I'm sure that won't be bad as well. Okay, my brother. Yes, my pleasure. I'm going to record it and send it to the group. If it's not too heavy, I'll send it to the group. If it's too heavy, I'll send it to YouTube and I'll provide the link. It's my pleasure, Sam. It's my pleasure. And Mr. Kimbadi, yes, thank you very much. Please go over it again and again. This is my secret sauce for business thinking. It will be useful. It will be useful. God bless. Have a beautiful evening.